The following is a presentation of TFNN. Trade what you see with Larry Pesavento. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-873-7618. Now, Larry Pesavento.
Okay, looking good, Billy Ray. Feeling good, Lewis. I hope this stuff comes true. I don't have Gmail. I don't have data. All I have is what people have sent me that I've asked them to send me so that we could look at some of these things that we've been looking. I will be fully operational by the weekend, maybe even by Friday. I am getting the old computer, the files out of it the best I can. I'm not even able to send email out because I don't have any files connected to that email. So we'll get it all done here pretty soon. Okay, there's one chart. I wanted to show a copy of the trading cards that we used to use on the Chicago Mercantile Exchange. You take a look at that one. You'll see that was the buy side. And then if you turn around and look at it, this would be the sell side. Okay, so that's what we're looking at right here. Folks, we're having a pretty big run up in these things, but let's get to some of these markets that we're involved in. One of the ones that we were looking at yesterday, right into the Fed time, was the situation that we had going on in the gold market. We had an absolute beautiful sell-buy signal down there exactly at the 61% retracement there at 1760. We've had one really good rally today, well over 40 points in the gold, which is what we call a pretty substantial rally. I'm going to be I'm going to finish the gold here, and then we will talk more about the rest of these markets because I think it's important. Let's just take a look at the gold. I hope, Al, tell me if these charts are coming through okay. Just let me know how they look, if you would, please. I'm sorry, folks. I can't do anything about this. I don't. What let me look. Let me try to. I don't think. Okay, I'm only getting part of the charts. Let me see why. Okay, I see you're only getting part of the charts. That I don't have any control over. I don't know why that is. I hope it's enough to see. Oh, I see what it is. I'm just not capable enough to do that, folks. I'm sorry. As you most of you knows that I am a dinosaur, but that's neither here nor there. Okay, Al's going to tell me at the break. Okay, anyway, if we'll take a look here, the gold has made, we've got up to almost $1,800 in the gold. That's a 40-handle move here, and I can't send out a sell signal or anything like that, but if you're in that gold position, I would be taking profits here, and I'll show you why in just a second because I think it's related to the U.S. dollar. Mr. Basil Chapman pointed that out very clearly right before his show ended, and I think it's important that we pay, very, very close attention to it. Now, another one that we were looking at yesterday that was very, very important. I know it's not going to post right, but at least if you'll defy human nature and look at the chart yourself, it's nothing more than a 4-hour chart on the crude oil showing the ABCD pattern coming in yesterday right at 80. The low was 79.75. Today we rallied all the way up to the 61% retracement at 82.86, and we've dropped $2,500. Folks, this thing is a wild puppy, just like all these others. We're going to be seeing volatility like you've never seen before. Mark my words, that someday in the future, they're going to go back and look at this date and say, wow, something big must have happened on this day. Well, who knows what it is? I don't know, but we'll take a look at it. I get on this show and I talk about things, and I know, you listen to them. Some of you do, some of you don't, because I get emails from you. But just for fun today, why don't you go into the Chicago Mercantile Exchange site, CME.com, click on the area of volume and open interest, and look at the open interest in all the stock index futures. I think it'll tell you an interesting story. Anyway, let's move on to a couple other ones that we really need to cover. By the way, our good friend and expert in cycles. Mr. Stan Harley will be our guest of the Harley Stock Market Letter, and I think we'll really enjoy that because he's been very accurate with some of his timing, and we'll certainly enjoy him. Here's another one, folks. Again, you're going to have to look at the chart yourself because I thought they were coming through, and we'll see whether we can get it fixed or not, but that's neither. Okay, this is natural gas, folks, over the last month. I want you to see the low here that we had here on the 1st of November. That was at a 78% retracement there at 510. 511. We then rallied $8,000 to the 61% retracement, okay? And then today's low, I don't know if it held or not because I can't tell. I don't have any data. But the 382 on that came in at 560. Now, if this thing gets above that 61% retracement after just a small rally like that, then you're looking at something that's going to be, really, really interesting to pay close attention to. So remind ourselves of that. Another position that we had that worked out relatively well was the short in the soybean oil market. Again, you'll see the old ABCD at the 61% retracement up there at 62.40. We went down to that 60.40 level today. So that was that one also was that one worked pretty good. So that's it. I have not issued a sell signal in the stock market. I have promised someone I would not do that, and I will say that that's what I'm going to do. Tomorrow might be a different story, folks. That might be a different story, but not today. That's the main thing that I'm trying to put in front of you is to see what I'm looking at. I have not seen this much bullish enthusiasm since March 24th of 2000 when we were in the dot-com bubble. That's when they were having that show in San Francisco. I'll never forget that one. Okay, now let's take a look here at this crude oil market. I just want to show you how volatile the crude oil is today, folks. I mean, we're talking really serious swings here. We go from $79.50 up to $83.40. That's a $4,000 move, and then we drop $2,500. That's a $6,500 move in crude oil, and you can see that ABCD on the bottom. So if you buy the ABCD and sell the 61% retracement, you're ahead $6,500. Anybody that did that, raise your hand, and as you can see, my hands are tightly folded. Okay, my screen resolution is probably what the problem is, but I will have to have Al help me out with that. So anyway, we will have Stan Harley as our guest at the break, and I'll be talking to you folks about that. When we come back, I want to talk to you about the euro and the U.S. dollar because that's related to the gold market. If the gold, and we were very close, I'll show you. You've seen these. Those of you that subscribe to the newsletter, you'll see that we have these, beautiful ABCD patterns completing on the weekly basis on the dollar. And what's interesting is with all the volatility that we had yesterday, I mean, monster moves. I mean, moves that we haven't seen in a long time. We'll be right back. 877.
You might think that if you want to be successful at trading in the stock market, you're going to need a crystal ball. After all, it's impossible to predict the future, right? Like any endeavor in life, before you decide it's impossible, get some advice from the experts. You might find that it's not so impossible after all. For daily market overviews that give you direction on the key indices, selective stocks, and commodities, subscribe to the Opening Call newsletter at TFNN.com. The Opening Call newsletter is written by Basil Chapman, creator of the trading methodology known as the Chapman Wave. The Chapman Wave up-down sequence gives you an edge in identifying price turns, finding the peaks and valleys in stock prices. Get the Opening Call newsletter by Basil Chapman in your inbox every day. First-time subscribers also get a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you're not satisfied, let us know, and you'll get a full refund within 30 days of signing up. TFNN.com, educating investors.
What's separating you from the most successful men and women on Wall Street? That's right, information. Having all the information gives us the perspective we need to place the right trades at the right time. The TESS Profile Scanner is the premier market profile-based scanner. Powered by its acclaimed TESS proprietary algorithms, this feature-rich scanner instantly filters over 2,500 plus global financial markets, such as stocks, ETFs, commodities, futures, and Forex. This powerful suite of tools leverages instant trade filtering and strategy formulation to show you emerging trades before they happen. For a limited time, you can save $100 off your first month by using the promo code UPGRADE, and you still get a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. Level the playing field with the TESS Profile Scanner, which you can find under the Services tab at TFNN.com. Sign up today.
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern, for free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
Oh, boy. You know, folks, the years have passed by here so quickly, and I just didn't catch on to what was going on with these computers and stuff. And I don't know if I ever told you the story why I was so affected by the computers. When I was getting my MBA at Indiana, the IBM was there. They were paying the highest salary at the time, which was about $1,200 a month. That was 65. And I took a job with Eli Lilly, just a little bit, $100 less than that, because the benefits were much better. But the IBM people gave me all kinds of tests, and they told me that I had the lowest score of any college student that they had done in the Midwest. And you think that doesn't make you feel pretty good? Well, what it was a test about probability or proficiency at maybe being software programmer, that type of thing. That's what they told me later, but I didn't know that. But when they told me that I was the lowest score, I knew I was good because I was the lowest score all during kindergarten, all during middle school, and all during high school. It wasn't until college that I learned how to study. So that didn't bother me. Never bothered me too much, but I know that was probably the reason. But anyway, Twentyman and I built a computer from Heathkit back in 1971, and we paid $200 for that. Some engineer built it. I had it in my garage, and some guy was visiting me from San Francisco, one of my students when I was at Pismo Beach, and he happened to walk through the garage and see that, and he said, "I'll give you $1,500 for that computer." And I had paid $200 for it, and I said, "Whoa." I didn't say a word. I said, "Well, if you think that's what it's worth," I said, "I'll sell it." And so I did. It's probably worth $10,000 now. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. Get back to this. Now, I've put the chart up of the dollar index, folks. To me, this is the most important chart that we got here. This is real money moving around, folks. It's not the stuff that you hear about the taper off, taper on. Look at this. This is so ridiculous. I mean, they're going to tell you that the market is that they're tapering off, and they are tapering off. They've already started to do that, and the market still goes straight up. That tells you that the cycle that's there is not finished yet. So that's my opinion. I just look at these charts. That's the other stuff is over my pay grade, and I'm glad that it is, because I can't understand. One thing I know how to do, folks, is I know how to trade intraday and how to pick up a dollar or two, and that's what the blind hog has said. You got to eat that once in a while. All right, let's look at this dollar index. Very, very important. With that, even with all that news that was going on yesterday, even with all that news, we could not get this darn thing into new high ground, which to me, let's just look at this again. We're just going to look at this. Hopefully the chart will come out. Al, see if I did this right now. See if this will come out now. And there we go. I don't know if this is the daily chart. Now, you see what I did was I put the, I can't even tell whether these things are even up or not. I can't even do that. Anyway, let's look at this. Can you see the image clearly, Billy? Billy's my only fan out there. He's watching it. But if you can see the clear image of that dollar index, only part of the chart came through, so I didn't get that done correctly. Anyway, go look at the dollar index chart. Tomorrow, hopefully, I'll have everything set up. No guarantees. Monday, I will. But today, I'm having a 3-hour session with John Jameson here in an hour or so, and he will get this all straightened out for me, and we'll be done before. But take a look at the dollar index chart. The key level, folks, is I thought for sure. I thought it was within 100% that we would be able to get up to this level of 95.10, which is the exact 382 on the daily. Given the fact that we had this, parabolic move in stocks, which is pretty much, yep. Thank you, Billy. Anyway, that's what we're watching here, is watch that 95.10. I thought for 100% probability we were going to get there, given the fact that we could barely, I'm talking about barely, just take out the highs of the last couple of days by one tick. That's not a good sign. We had a huge move in the euro. The euro went from 116.20, which was the 382 again, and then boom, right back down, and it's making new lows as we speak. So those are just a few of the things that we're watching here today. I'm looking forward to hear what Stan Harley says, because he does a lot of work with mathematics and other stuff. So that'll be fun to listen to, see what he did, because he's got he did a huge amount of work, and I'm just hope that Al, do me a favor, Al, when we get on here, spend a little time with me to see if I can get these settings right, because I want to be able to show Stan's charts perfectly. So let's do that when the break comes in a minute, so that I have a total of 6 minutes to do all this, and maybe I can get it straight to see if it's done. So thanks, Al. Appreciate that. Okay, one of the questions that Jeff asked, and that is, how do you know when a butterfly fails? Well, the butterfly, folks, is an expansion of the Gartley pattern. It either expands to 1.27 or 1.618. And Jeff said in his email, what I do, he said, I put my stop right above that 1.618 level. And that is correct. That's what you should do. Because once they go past 1.618, what you're doing is you're extending past the Fibonacci spiral that we look at. And 1.618 for trading purposes, that's our golden thing. We watch this in Tesla, Apple, all these. They've all done the same thing. There's all these charts do pretty much the same thing. So let's remind ourselves that it's not about how much money you make, it's how much money you don't lose. And if you get beyond 1.618 and you're on the other side of that market, you're in dangerous ground. So try not to get into that dangerous grounds. Stay where the ground is safe, where you don't have any earthquakes. That's the main thing that you want to be watching as we go through here. Now we're going to come up to a break here in just a second, and then what we're going to be doing is we're going to be looking at that chart's not so bad. Well, that's not too bad. Okay. Anyway, we will have to take a little break here, and then what we're going to do is have Stan Harley on. Hopefully, Al will get these things fixed for me, and we'll be able to move on to the second half of the show. I don't have a guest for tomorrow because I really don't have anything, folks. I have no data. I have no Gmail. The only charts I get are the ones that I get from a couple of my friends that are kind enough to send me the charts. They chart like I do, and so they just drop it into a Skype thing, so I'm able to use that. Other than that, I look over at CNB to see what's going on. I have no positions on. The goal that I had, I got out of that once I had no more data, because I didn't want to be flying blind. And unfortunately, that was around 1791, but that was still turned out okay. Anyway, that's what. We've got another minute to go. I thought our break was at 24, but it's at actually 25. If you have any questions, folks, that's still the same. 877 127 877-927-6648. Keep in mind, folks, it's not what you make, it's how much you don't lose. That's the whole key. And remember, the sell side of these trading cards is the most important. This is the sell side, so remember that. Okay. All right, we'll move on and take care of one other thing that we wanted to mention. And where was that chart? Shut the front door. It was about the piggies because they went down and snapped right back. I covered the bean oil. I covered the natural gas. I covered the crude oil. I covered the dollar index. Okay, we'll be right back.
Are you having fun trading the markets but having trouble finding like-minded individuals to discuss your trading and investment ideas with? Become an apex predator in the trading markets and join the Tiger's Den Trading Room only at TFNN.com. The Tiger's Den is an exclusive trading room where successful traders from around the world come to exchange trades and ideas. Join the den and surround yourself with the sharpest minds in the trading world. Subscribers to the Tiger's Den are also the first to have their questions answered live on air and can privately chat with our TFNN hosts live during their shows. Interact with other Tigers and Tigresses as they share trading ideas, news analysis, and discuss the market action all trading day. Subscribe to the Tiger's Den risk-free with our 30-day money-back guarantee and become part of the TFNN trading community. TFNN, educating investors.
You could be making money off the stock market. And if you're already making money off the stock market, you could be making a lot more. Check out TFNN and Tiger TV and get expert investing advice to give you the power to control your financial future. Go to TFNN.com and find the newsletter for you. Whether you're into trading gold, metals, futures, currencies, or options, you'll get advice and analysis to help you seriously get ahead. TFNN also features trading services with a 30-day money-back guarantee for new subscribers, as well as TFNN's Tiger Den Trading Room, trading software, and educational webinars for all trading levels. And make sure you check out Tiger TV for free on TFNN.com or TFNN's YouTube channel for live financial content from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern on market days. Stop watching on the sidelines while other people get rich and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
This segment is brought to you by Thinkorswim. For more information, just click the Thinkorswim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Okay, we're back, folks, and we are on with Stan Harley of the Harley Stock Market Letter. Stan, how are you doing today?
Good morning. I'm doing just awesome.
Well, this is good. Unfortunately, it's not from this area that we're having awesome today because I'm having computer problems and I'm not able to share your charts fully. They're only coming through halfway, and there's nothing I can do about that. What I'd like to do, Stan, is I can show a chart of it, but because I know your time's really valuable, and this is some of the most incredible research I've seen in the stock market, and I'm hoping that we'll be able to. Those of you that don't get this, if you will, drop Stan an email, I'm sure he'll send you a picture of what we're looking at. But the thing that I find the most interesting is how you're talking about the geometry of an evolving top. Could we start there, Stan?
Oh, absolutely. And I've got screen share on my end. TFNN may have to enable it. I'm not sure. But just to kind of recap, Larry, I have got data going back to the year 1600 that I just recently acquired. And I found clear evidence of a cycle spanning the highs that equates to about 94 years. 94 years ago, we had a top in 1929. Before that, we had a top in 1835. And about 188 years prior to that, we had a top in the Dutch stock market in the Netherlands. So given the brevity of the interview here, I'll fast forward to the present. The cyclical pattern would suggest the 2023 time period, plus or minus about 2 years, we should be making a major, what I would call a secular market peak on par with 1929, 1835, 1720, and the one that occurred in the 1600s in the Netherlands.
Wow. Hey, your charts are coming through perfectly now, Stan. You're in control there, so this is great. They were able to take what you sent them. So if you want to just go through and pick the next one and tell the folks what you're looking at. Folks, pay attention to this because you're not going to see this anyplace else. This is really good stuff.
Absolutely, Larry. I have been challenged to find the monthly and the weekly, what I would call the aha moment, clustering in early 2023, but I am finding it very, very shortly, i.e. towards the end of this year. So here is a daily chart of the S&P 500, current through just a couple of days ago, and I found a significant clustering of Fibonacci and Lucas relationships right around December 22, December 23, which is right before the Christmas break. That's also the winter solstice. And the pattern right now would suggest to me we're probably going to continue to rally into that time period. If we do that, that might very well mark a secular market peak, a very, very significant market peak that could stand for quite some time.
Wow.
Another thing that I have done that also lends credence to this, Larry, is I've employed a technique called squaring price and time. That's a Gann technique. And for the viewers who have done a lot of work with Gann, they're probably very familiar with this. Probably most of the viewers are not. But what it entails is this. Gann found that if he took the price at a significant low or a significant high, and then took that value and projected it forward in time, the same incremental amount, days, weeks, months, years, it very often coincided with a major trend change of importance. And I found just through trial and error, if I took the low on March the 6th, 2009, which was 666 and change, projected it forward in time in weeks, which Gann also pointed out that weeks were probably the most important. It clusters right around 12/27 of this year, the week ending December 17th. So I've got some daily work that suggests right around the winter solstice, and I've got some Gann work, the squaring of price and time, also pointing to the time period right around the winter solstice, all suggestive that we could get a significant high point reversal there.
Wow.
The third chart I thought I would share if we have the time.
We do.
I looked at the Dow Jones Industrials and the Nikkei 225 in Japan. And the Japanese market topped out in December of 1989. I looked at the last several months of the Nikkei rallying into that top, and I found that the pattern was very, very similar to our Dow Jones Industrials. So what I've done is I've overlaid both of them on the same chart. The dates across the bottom are for the Dow Jones Industrials. I then moved the Nikkei back about 7 days. So the chart of the Nikkei is moved to the left by 1 week to more closely line up with the Dow. And one can see the Nikkei and the Dow made a low on October the 4th, made another low on October the 27th, and now they are marching up. As you can see, the Nikkei remained essentially range bound for a couple of months, right around 34,000, 35,000. Then late October, after that October 27th low, it began an accelerated advance and really didn't slow down. It actually topped on December 29th, but when I move it to the left, it lines up with December 23rd. And right now, Larry, it looks like a virtual Xerox copy of the Dow and the Nikkei. What that would suggest, if the pattern continues, we're just going to keep marching up here and topping out somewhere around 39,000 plus or minus. And then we shall see.
Yeah, we shall see. Those are the key words. This is really great stuff. I just can't tell you how much we enjoy having you on here. There's folks, if you really have an interest, you should contact Stan Harley and take a look at this letter that he's written, because he's got about 9 or 10 charts in here that just really show some great cycle work going back to squaring a price and time, plus the one he just discussed. So I would highly suggest you go to Stan Harley, HarleyStockMarketLetter.com, and ask Stan for a copy of it and actually subscribe. That might even be a good thing to do. Hey, Stan, if it's okay, maybe towards the Thanksgiving weekend, we'll give you a chat, and maybe you could come with us again and share some other information and see how these things are unfolding.
Absolutely, Larry. It'd be my pleasure. Just a reminder, one last thing. The most important toolkit in any analyst's toolkit, the most important tool, an eraser.
That's right, brother. You got that right. I have drawers of them.
So do I.
Hey, thanks for joining us, Stan. I really
My
do
pleasure,
appreciate
Larry.
it. You bet. See, the other thing you need besides an eraser, folks, is a sense of humor, because a lot of times, you're going to be wrong in these markets, and when you are, you have to be able to say, oops, I done something wrong here, and that's what we want to look at. So let's keep that in mind as we go through looking at some of these things. The British pound, those of you that have been following us, we've been short that British pound. That's doing pretty nicely. We'll be right back, folks. 877-927-6648.
Are you in the market for buying or selling real estate in the Bay Area, including the surrounding St. Petersburg, Tampa, and Clearwater markets? Tiger Real Estate LLC is a firm that has extensive experience in the Tampa Bay area. Whether you're looking to sell your current property for maximum value, or you're in the market for a second home or investment property, Tiger Realty has the experience across all areas of real estate in the Tampa Bay area to help buyers and sellers make the most informed decisions across all price levels. From the price you should be paying per square foot in certain up-and-coming areas to the type of cash flow investment properties are capable of creating, Tiger Real Estate can help you make the best decision when it comes to all areas of the market. Before you make one of the biggest decisions of your financial future, call Tiger Real Estate LLC today at 727-329-8322 or email us at tiger@tfnn.com. That's 727-329-8322. Call us today.
The technology around us is changing every day. With so much happening, it can seem impossible to keep up with all the information. David White's investment newsletter, The Technology Insider, is designed to give you all the information you need to understand the technology that shapes today's markets and tomorrow's future. David White has made his living staying on the cutting edge of technology. His weekly newsletter will give you specific recommendations for value tech stocks, as well as entry prices, target prices, and stops to set for each trade. Dave delivers his weekly newsletters every Friday with updates throughout the week. You can get the Technology Insider at TFNN.com for only $37.50. Sign up for David's newsletter, The Technology Insider, and get an inside look at everything the technology sector has to offer. Try it risk-free today with our 30-day money-back guarantee. TFNN, educating investors.
Are China A-shares hot or not? If you trade China A-shares, now may be time to take a closer look. Trade CHAU or CHAD, Directions Daily CSI 300 China A-share Bull and Bear ETFs. China A-shares in either direction. Visit directioninvestments.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV.
Okay, we're back, folks. I posted the chart of the crude oil. We've had an $8,000 move in crude today, folks, and it's only been trading 2 hours. That's not too bad. 4,000 up, 4,000 down. This low that we made yesterday at 79.88 was an exact 61% retracement. We rallied up to 83.50. We're back to 80.29. Going below 79.50 now would be equivalent to what happened in the euro yesterday, folks, where the euro actually had that big run up to the 382 and then stopped, absolutely dead in its tracks. But that's neither here nor there. We have to be able to hold it. Just give me a second here, and I will try to get this euro chart to show you what we were looking at there. And shut the front door and raise the rent. Just a minute. I hopefully get this thing done here. I don't have any data, folks, so there's nothing I can do to show you. I thought I would for a second, but I just don't have anything so I'm just going to chat here for these last 15 or 20 minutes just about the overall structure of what we're seeing here. We've been here before in these types of moves, folks. I haven't seen a move like this in stocks with this vertical move that we've seen, especially in the NASDAQ, which should be, because the NASDAQ has been the big daddy rabbit. That's the one that's been running everything, and we know that this technical stuff is wonderful, and it's going to be greater and greater and greater and greater. We know that. That's coming. They're going to have chips in our if they haven't already put them in with these vaccines. Now they're saying the vaccines, Moderna came out and said, well, we're not even sure if this vaccine works or something like that. So just be careful, folks. You got to be able to, think for yourself, I guess, if nothing else. Frankly, I think it's all a bunch of baloney. I had an interesting call last night. I was a friend of mine who I chat with all the time. Is from New Jersey. He's been there his whole life, went to school at Rutgers, and we were talking about the election for governor there, and the fact that this Italian guy was leading by 2% with about only 8% ready to go, and he laughed at me. And I said, why are you laughing? And he said, so you don't know anything about politics and here, do you? He said, no. He said, they'll have 5,000 votes come in at the very last second, and he'll win. And that's exactly what happened. With 98.5% of the votes in, the Italian guy's ahead by 1,500, and boom, when the 100% is in, 5,000 votes came in, and 3,500 of them were for the Democrat, and so he won by 5,000 votes. So that was the whole thing. And I said, how did you know that? He said, well, they do it all the time. They keep them in the bag, and when they need them, they pull them out. I don't know if that's true or not, but boy, that's exactly what happened. So that's why I'm not interested in politics. I never have been, and I'm actually glad of that. Okay, let's move on to the markets here. Let's talk about that U.S. dollar again, folks, because therein lies the key for me. If you look at that U.S. dollar index chart that I post in the newsletter every week, that is a perfectly symmetrical ABCD pattern coming in at 85.10. Let's try it again, Larry. 95.10. Now, the $64 question is, and I posted it here in the daily chart, we've only been as high as 94.10. We hit that again today. We didn't even take out the highs of last week when the Fed was in there, giving us this wonderful song and dance how everything is. Now, speaking of the Fed, let's give them credit where credit is due. If you go back to October 7th of 2000, Mr. Ben Bernanke was on the tube, and he was telling everybody that all the signs were green for the economy being very, very strong. This was October 7th. It topped on October the 8th. Now, so just because what they say and what they do are two different things. So remind that of yourself. These patterns that we deal with have two purposes. One is they prepare you for risk. And number two, they have some degree of predictability. But the first thing they do is they prepare you for risk, because when these numbers don't work, that means something's not right. Look at today in the crude oil. It rallied all the way up to 83.50, came down to the 61% retracement at 81.50, rallied about 30 pips, and then dropped another $1.50. So that's where you have to be really careful. I know it's not a thing. Now, I can't send this out or anything like that, but if I were in the gold position and I had anything, what I would do is they see the whole chart now? Dude, that's really good. Wonder what happened. Anyway, what I would do is I would make sure that I would protect myself in the gold market. I would have a stop at $17.89. That would lock in a $2,900 profit. Well, almost a $3,000 profit. So that's what I would do. I don't know where gold is trading now because I can't tell. But if I were in it, that's what I would be doing. I would have my stop at $17.89 is what I would be looking at as for a stop. The other thing that I'd like to share with you is that I deal with some guys that are a whole lot smarter than me. A couple of them are across the pond. A few of them are over in Asia, but the one of them in Asia today who handles a very large hedge fund out of Hong Kong told me, and he told me this at 1 o'clock in the morning my time, because I was up trying to get this computer working, and he said that the S&P would not hit 4678 today, is what he said. He said it will not hit 4678, and it was the same type of thing like what Bryce Gilmore said, bonds would never hit 161.01. Anyway, the high today has only been 4674.75, so what does he know? Anyway, let's just keep an eye on some of these things, because we do live in interesting times. And remember, that's a Chinese curse, folks. That's the main thing to look at. The gold, I was just told, is at $17.93. So if you're in that trade, we posted that the day before the Fed talked. We posted that on Wednesday morning, really, really early. About 2 in the morning is when I sent that out to buy it at that 1760 level. And it's had a nice move, of course. But if you're in that trade, put your stop at 1789, and that's what I would do. That way you'll lock it in. And the only reason I'm doing that for two reasons. One, it's a substantial profit. That's equivalent to 60 handles in the S&P. But the other reason is I'm not really sure that the U.S. dollar is going to weaken, because if that thing strengthens and it happens to pop above that 95.10, 95.20 level, that's not going to be very bullish for gold. So let's remind ourselves that it's all about risk control and how much money you can keep on the table and not risk it. That's the whole thing of what we're watching. I don't have any positions on in anything, folks. The only thing I had on was gold, and that was by accident, because once I saw that during the time of the Fed, I had no computer then, and then I saw the rally. I said, well, I'm not going to be flying blind here, so I ended up selling it, and I sold it substantially lower than where we are right now. So that's neither here nor there. I just don't like flying blind when I'm in these markets, because it's a little more difficult to be looking at. But we're seeing signs that dollar is holding up relatively good. You can see how it's breaking against the British pound. That's been one of the weaker ones to look at, and also the other one, of course, has been the euro. The Australian dollar is done pretty much what we thought it was going to do. It's had a really nice move, and as long as we're watching that, we should pay close attention to that one also. So that's neither here nor there. It's had a big break here in this Australian dollar. We'll be right back, folks. 877-927-6648.
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern. For free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
You might think that if you want to be successful at trading in the stock market, you're going to need a crystal ball. After all, it's impossible to predict the future, right? Like any endeavor in life, before you decide it's impossible, get some advice from the experts. You might find that it's not so impossible after all. For daily market overviews that give you direction on the key indices, selective stocks, and commodities, subscribe to the Opening Call newsletter at TFNN.com. The Opening Call newsletter is written by Basil Chapman, creator of the trading methodology known as the Chapman Wave. The Chapman Wave up-down sequence gives you an edge in identifying price turns, finding the peaks and valleys in stock prices. Get the Opening Call newsletter by Basil Chapman in your inbox every day. First-time subscribers also get a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you're not satisfied, let us know, and you'll get a full refund within 30 days of signing up. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Are you looking for a secured investment which pays you on a monthly basis? The Tiger First Mortgage Program may be the program for you. The best rate on a 5-year CD in the country right now, according to Bankrate.com, is paying 1% per year or $1,000 per $100,000 invested. The Tiger First Mortgage Program pays 7% per year, paid monthly, on secured, high-value buildable properties in St. Petersburg, Florida. The investment is for 4 years, paying 7% per year or $7,000 per $100,000 invested. Your investment is secured by high-value real estate in St. Petersburg, Florida. Your investment can be anywhere from $100,000 to $500,000. Do you want to make $1,000 per year on $100,000 invested or $7,000 per year on a secured Tiger First mortgage? The Tiger First Mortgage Program may be just the program for you. The Tiger First Mortgage Program pays 7% per year, paid monthly. For more information, you can call 877-518-9190. That's 877-518-9190.
Okay, folks, we're back, and we've only got 2 minutes to go here. I posted a few charts here. Thanks to Charlie for sending them to me. He's listening to me talking, and when I talk about a chart, he drops it into Skype so that I can post it in here for you to take a look at it, but that's what we're looking at. The second one that I put on there was the 382 retracement on that Australian dollar. As you can see that. We're going to be covering that at length, folks, during our full-day seminar on the 10th with Tom Hugard. Tommy Terrific will be joining us at that time, hopefully for an hour or more. He's a very good teacher, and he certainly likes to share his information. So we'll be working with him, and the whole goal. We're going to do some teaching, but the whole goal is to make money on the day. At least you cover the $295. We've done it every time, 3 times in a row. We've been able to do that. One of these times it's not going to work, but we work really hard to try to set up the trades. And we're looking at, usually when we're doing the intraday trades like this, we set up hourly trades, half hour, 15 minutes. And then when we have a chance, we'll even look down at a 5-minute chart if there's some nice little smaller swings in there, and people can see them happening, and they can actually put the trades on themselves. And we're trading mainly the most active things that you're seeing here. So that's the key to what we'll be doing here. So let's remind ourselves of that. And also remember, folks, If you do want to contact Stan Harley and get that important information, I would certainly recommend you do it. The Harley Stock Market Letter. There's some of the best geometric stuff that I've seen. I think there's a total of 10 charts in the group, and I would highly recommend you take a look at that. He's kind enough to send them to you, and these are pretty expensive charts, so he's willing to do that for us. So we want to thank him for that, and he's been a really great guest. Hopefully next week we're going to have Joe DiNapoli on. We have the live trading day on the 10th. So the 11th, I have to travel on the 11th, so I will not be in the market on the 11th, but we will be doing the all-day trading thing on the 10th, which means we won't have the radio show. Oh, wait, 8 to 9. Yeah, I can still do the radio show, sure. Wait, 9 o'clock. Nope, we'll be trading by then. Hey, let's try to meet tomorrow. I'll be here, 877-926-7748.